Okay, Shalom, Shalom, first and foremost, all power, praise, honor, glory. Due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, and crack with us. I want to the elders and honor to the apostles, preaching, teaching this word of truth and with sincerity as always. In this lesson here, I just want to go into, you'll see. Start with the scripture here, basically. Put 27 with that. Let's see. Yeah, this is 1 Corinthians 1. I'm going to start at verse 18. For the message of the cross is foolishness to those who are perishing, but to us who are being saved, it is the power of God. Yeah, and why is it foolishness to people that are perishing? I went briefly into this in the last video I literally made before this one. It's just seconds. It's just a couple minutes after I closed that video out. Now we're making this video here. This one is kind of similar to that video. But yeah, why is it foolishness? Because it's like Yahweh Shah told the Pharisee. The birds have nests, foxes have holes. Basically, these animals are going to be treated better than you are when you come into this truth. Basically, you're going to be catching hell. You're going to be sacrificing worldly comforts and worldly glory and praise from the world when you come to follow Yahweh. That's why that's foolish. That's why this word is foolishness to these people. They don't understand that you can't have 6 figures and serve Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. You can't have that bad bitch on Instagram with big booty and be serving Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. You can't be smoking weed and cigarettes and serving Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Evil and good won't agree with each other. This is 1 Corinthians 1 and 18. For the message of the cross is foolishness to those who are perishing, but to us who are being saved, it is the power of God. For it is written, I will destroy the wisdom of the wise, the intelligence of the intelligent I will frustrate. Where is the wise man? Where is the scribe? Where is the philosopher of this age? Has not God made foolish the wisdom of the world? For since in the wisdom of God, the world through its wisdom did not know him. Calling that to these people for you. You have motherfuckers like Bruce Lee. I think I saw a clip recently this week, I think it was earlier, of how this nigga Bruce Lee could how quickly he could punch. They said his punches were so fast that they couldn't catch it. They couldn't catch his punches. The best boxers of that time or whatever, fighters of that time, martial arts, whatever, he was into kung fu or shit, whatever, couldn't catch his punches. It was too quick. But did he know the name? Did he actually have the name? Did he even know the name of God? Did the Lord even choose him? That's why I was saying in the last video, I said I was going to speak about it in the last video, but I ended up not doing it. Going into how these NPCs, and to us, these NPCs, NPC means non-playable characters, for those who don't know. Basically, they ain't the main character. When you go into video games, you have NPCs, and then you have the main character that you can actually control and play with. And so really this world is the video game. The Lord is the player. He's the one with the control. We as elect are the playable characters. That's really what that NPC shit means, and that's where that comes from. So anyway, yeah, thanks for the credit. Thanks for the credit. All right, but yeah, like they didn't know the name. People talk about high value man and what makes a high value man or a high value woman and all this dumb shit, but according to the world, right? Going back to this, the foolishness of this world, the wisdom of this world. That's the wisdom of this world. For since 21, 1 Corinthians 1:21. For since in the wisdom of God, Yahweh, the power of Yahweh, the world through its wisdom did not know him. The power was pleased through the foolishness of what was preached to save those who believe. Jews demand signs and Greeks search for wisdom, but we preach a Mashiach crucified, a stumbling block to Jews and foolishness to Gentiles. But those who are called, both Jews and Greeks, a Mashiach, the power of the power and the wisdom of the power. For the foolishness of power is what wiser than man's wisdom, and the weakness of the power is stronger than man's strength. Yeah, because of all of that, Bruce Lee still got his ass killed and knocked down by Yahweh by Messiah. His life got taken at a young age. Mike Tyson, Michael Jordan, with all the accolades that they had in their prime, no one really remembers them anymore. Michael Jackson, nobody really remembers him anymore. He's gonna fade. His glory is gonna fade, and his accolades are gonna fade away. But we know through this knowledge and this truth that what we're striving for, if we are the elect brothers and sisters, mainly you brothers, really you brothers, our names are gonna be remembered. And they were even your sisters, yeah. Because you're a righteous woman, you're doing the righteous things. The Lord's gonna give you a memorial as well. For getting yourself in order, fleeing from the ways of this present evil, temporal, evil world without much glory doth abide. For the foolishness of God is wiser than the man's wisdom, and the weakness of God is stronger than man's strength. Because I got like an example right here I want to show.
Between a male and a man, and it's not what most people think. So a male is basically like the default setting. You know, he has the organs, the look, the characteristics, but mentally he's stuck in survival mode. He's run by impulses, fear, and lust. So what does he do? He chases women, food, and distractions. But a man is conscious of his God-given ability to have higher intelligence and know what he should do. So regardless of all the impulses, the fear, the lust, he acknowledges those things, but he doesn't act on them. A man is conscious of his purpose on a daily basis and his destination. The harsh truth is that most males never become men, not because they can't, but because they choose not to. There's a big difference between a male and a man, and it's not what most people think. So a male is talking about Jake Paul. Narrative is that as a man, you can feel however you want, act however you want, be emotional as hell all the time, and life is great. The reality is that emotional men are forgettable, replaceable, disrespected, and usually end up in jail. You know, the narrative tells you, oh, you can identify as a sock, you can identify as whatever you want. As a man, you should paint your nails and do your makeup. The reality is that if your ancestors acted like that, you wouldn't exist. You know, if they stopped living in reality for even a second, you wouldn't exist. You know, the narrative tells you, hey, you should go to school, work a 9 to 5, become a slave, and get in so much debt that you work for 10 years to get out of it. But the reality is that people are getting replaced by AI right in front of your face. And if you're not using these tools, you might not even escape. You might be cooked. It might be too late if you're not doing anything right now and have a sense of urgency That's the reality. You know, the narrative tells you, hey, you should smoke weed to be creative, you should drink alcohol to socialize, you should take drugs when you feel some type of way, and here's a prescription when you're sick. The reality is that those are all coping mechanisms made to make you treat the symptom instead of the root cause, because if you treat the root cause, you're no longer profitable. You're no longer enslaved. Now you can solve all your own problems, which is 100% capable, and that's the natural way that every ancestor before you operated. That's actually why you exist, because they didn't need prescriptions and alcohol and weed and drugs in order to function. All these things are made to make you stupider and to make you profitable, because when you're more stupid and profitable, you're easier to control and you're a recurring customer. And now you just keep coming back because you're a junkie and you can't stop yourself. So it's not even about what the narrative says. It's more so about what you choose to believe. So everyone's talking about Jake Paul getting his jaw broken, Tate losing, but nobody's talking about how the guys talking the most online throughout all of this are doing nothing in real life. And that just goes to show, whenever you're hypercritical of another man's achievements, his risks, his losses, etc., it says more about you than it does about them, especially if you're not taking any risks. It's just a reflection of yourself. The things that you're hating on are usually where you are lacking in real life. So in order to just fix this, every single man should learn how to fight. Every single man should take more risk. Maybe you don't have to learn how to fight, but you do need to feel brave. You do need to step into some type of arena. You do need to get in the gym. You do need to get into business. You do need to learn a skill. You need to do something with all your time, because if you're hating, if you're being hypercritical, observing other men, you're losing by default. That's the big illusion. You think that by observing other men that you can't lose. You think that by spectating you can't lose. But the reality and the illusion is that you're losing by default. Oh my God. Let's see you fight. Let's see you get in the ring, do boxing, wrestling, MMA, jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai. Let's see you do all of it. Each one. Oh, Tate got his ass whooped. Oh my God. Thumb is scrolling and you willingly are listening to me, which means that you have free will to change those habits. But once you realize that, that's when everything changes. And then you have the decision to continue scrolling or to start building, which is going to be uncomfortable, but that's up to you. The only reason that you feel lost right now is because you're stuck in no man.
That's the point. That's enough of that dude. Also, his name is Omar Palmer. It's like helps men build elite physiques and optimize hormones. And he has some facts. He has some facts, but
Guys have heard like it's gonna snow 2 feet in Maryland and the DMV. So I just go about my normal routine, get some oysters on Friday with my cousin, and then we go in the grocery store. People are road raging in the parking lot, act like it's a zombie apocalypse. So we go in the store. Guess what's out of stock? Pork, beans, turkey, chicken, what else? Water, and what else? Toilet paper. And guess what was fully stocked? The steak aisle, the red meat. Everything was fully stocked, and that just tells you everything that you need to know about why everybody's out of shape. Like, guys, why are we eating pork and beans when we're going to be stuck in the house? Come on, guys. We got to get the oysters, we got to get the red meat, and don't act like a wild animal just because it's going to snow. Like, it's just frozen water. You got full-grown adults in the grocery store acting like animals. On a serious note, you guys, if you're using this blizzard as an excuse to binge watch Netflix, eat pumpkin pie and muffins in the oven, and warm up your toes at the fireplace, watch the last couple of episodes of Stranger Things, the only thing that's strange is the fact that you guys don't see the opportunity, once again, of money falling from the sky. There's about to be so many old people trapped in their houses, and there's not enough people with shovels to go and shovel them out. 2 feet of snow? Come on, guys. You can't be in the house eating gingerbread houses. You need to go outside, make a couple bands, and go free the old people from their houses.
he gives some good advice. The point I'm wanting though is he's not The point I wanted to make, basically, let's go back to the scripture. He's just an example of 1 Corinthians 1 and verse 20. So in his eyes, a masculine man is someone who is healthy, is on his health. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure according to him, it's you gotta have a good physique, or otherwise you won't fit his standard of being a true man. But being a true man, there, Mr. Omar Palmer here. No offense to him, nothing like that, but his story is inspirational.
It's gonna happen to you.
He has a pretty inspirational story. He speaks certain gems and wins. I don't know about that whole oyster thing. That shit is off. That's unclean food. You shouldn't eat that, bro. But take that a negative if you choose to. I'm really just trying to help you out, bro. That's against the laws, and you are an Israelite. You should repent, bro. But I'm just this video ain't dedicated to him. It's just he's the first example that came to my mind of basically the wisdom of this world. He has the wisdom of this world. And once again, 1 Corinthians 1 and 21. For since in the wisdom of God, the world through its wisdom did not know him, Yahweh Bashim was pleased through the foolishness of what was preached to save those who believe. So, and so this truth would be foolishness to him, because I could tell you straight up right now, if he was to come into this truth and this faith, he would lose. More than likely, the Lord would take away from a lot of that he has, and he wouldn't be willing to have that taken from him. So according to the Lord's eyes, he would be weak. He would be an insult to the Lord. And he wouldn't want to preach this word. He wouldn't want to believe this word of Yahweh Bashim Shad is a word which is what really makes you a true man. Now, of course, brothers hit the gym, brothers eat healthy. They try to get our testosterone up by doing those things. Staying away from GMO foods, that's a heavy thing he pushes, which is nothing wrong with that. But the more I thought about it, the more I thought about that scripture there. And so ultimately, this guy isn't. He doesn't got the answers. He has the wisdom of this world, not the wisdom of the Lord. So 28, for the foolishness of God is wiser than man's wisdom, and the weakness of God is stronger than man's strength. Verse 26. The subheading says, wisdom from the power, Yahweh. This is verse 26. Brothers, consider the time of your calling. Not many of you were wise by human standards. Not many were powerful. Not many were of noble birth. Yeah, a lot of us who come into this truth, really. And I was meditating and thinking about this and said this earlier. Us brothers in this truth, we're successful, really, when you think about it. We are. If we continue in this truth, repenting, seeking Yahweh Bashim Mashah, doing the works that the Lord has called us to do. Some to be teachers, prophets, others just to be getting older. We're really the ones that's gonna be successful. Okay, like We can lose shit here. We cannot have shit here, but it doesn't matter because everything here is in this world right now is temporal. This devil's kingdom is falling down. The devil is the so-called white man. For you, in case you don't know, his kingdom is temporal. It's already on the verge of collapsing, being tipped over and falling. And everything here is going to be fall and go down soon. We ain't seeking a cozy, cushy life in a temporal kingdom, in our enemy's kingdom, in our prison. We're seeking an eternal crown of glory. So by those standards, if we make it, our names are going to be written forever. Not what you social media influencers have to say or do. Your life is centered around you and you being the message and you being the so-called leader. You're establishing your own wisdom. That's not of the Lord's wisdom at all. So going back to the scripture here, brothers, consider your calling. Not many of you were wise by human standards. Yes, some of us are. A lot of brothers are just average Joes. Average working, average jobs. We don't have many people watching us, subscribing to us. We don't have no like. But I was saying it earlier. We don't have no like button. It's not like people just like our just. It's not like we get a. Most brothers don't even get 50 likes on these videos, man. 10, 20 likes on these videos, man. Our top elder, Sahar, the most views he gets is 1K views. Yeah, and that's our elder. Okay. Most people watch the elder Tahar. His page declaring the end. Well, this stupid world is caught up in the endless cycle, thinking this is the end. This is the end all be all. But going back to the topic, the Lord did choose billionaires, rich men, rich woman of a wealthy background to get His word, to seek Him. I mean, like I wish I was already the prime example. He was just an average man. Nobody really knew him. Nobody really looked upon him because he had worldly accolades. He was just a carpenter's son. A 30-year-old carpenter's son from Nazareth. That's why the scriptures say there was no form of holiness that they shall marvel at him. So going back to the scriptures, 27:6. Not many of you were wise men by human standards. Not many were powerful. Not many were of noble birth. But God chose the foolish things of the world to shame the wise. God chose the weak things of the world to shame the strong. He chose the lowly and despised things of the world and the things that are not to nullify the things that are, so that no one may boast in His presence. God. Because it's not like, I'm not saying to not try in your life, not try to make your life better and improve your life. If there's something that spiritual you feel you're lacking in, to not improve in it. Brothers are all for improving in your life and getting things in your life to better your situation. As long as it's not interfering with the work you gotta do for the Lord. Brothers have their own businesses. Brothers are hard workers, have jobs and stuff. So we ain't saying to not do that or to not try to get any of that. But what this guy pushes is basically the way he pushes out his message is basically well, let's see here.
Getting a full scholarship, so that's what I was going for. That time came around, and all year I had really not been performing well. I was not in my best mindset. I was eating a very suboptimal diet, sleeping probably 6 hours on average. Went into college at 210, left at 170. A lot of it was muscle. I was injured for about half of that season, but towards the end of the season, I was fine. In late October, I get a call from my mom that my sister got in a deadly car accident. So now, in my mind, I'm just thinking, I'm like, why is all this happening to me? Life was just happening to me. I'm 1,000 miles away. My sister gets in a deadly car accident. She's in the ICU in shock trauma, broken pelvis. My best friend passed away. My life was just falling apart in front of me. I just felt like my family was just falling apart. And I was only 18. I know that my experience is not even the worst that it gets. But I'm just telling my story as someone who, probably just like you guys watching this video, you have a phone, you have Wi-Fi, probably have a loving family. Maybe you don't. Maybe you've been through worse than me. Maybe you haven't. All I know is that we're all human. We breathe the same oxygen. We bleed the same blood. We have the same eyes, ears, nose, mouth, 5 fingers, 5 senses. That tomorrow is not promised. That anything can happen. She got hit by a drunk driver on the driver's side and survived. You know, if my sister passed away, I probably would have, I don't even know. I would have viewed life a lot differently, you know? And even though that happened, you know, I had an extreme bearing and pull upon me after all that happened to just not be there anymore. That just goes to show you anything is possible. Anything I'm telling you guys, like if you want to start a business, if you want to make money, it's possible. If you want to get in shape.
Yeah, he's those guys that say anything is possible, anything is possible. But what those two type of niggas don't understand is that no, there's things that's not possible, bro. Like me right now in my situation, bro. I can't find a job. I can't fucking find one, bro. I've been trying my hardest, bro. What you motherfuckers don't understand is that what these fuckers don't understand is that you can be a motherfucker that tries, bro, but you will not get what you want to get. It's just the facts. If you think I'm bugging out and fucking losing my fucking mind, what I'm saying, hear me out, and I'll tell it to you. I'll put it like this: even the Father and the Son, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, the one true God, the one true Lord, they can't even get what they want. What does Yahweh and Yahushai want? They want the kingdom. They want the kingdom, bro. But they can't get the kingdom. They can't get it right now. So how much less could we get what we want? And some of the things we want ain't even the kingdom, which is something far more valuable. If you're the elect, you want the kingdom. I want the kingdom. I'm not saying I don't want the kingdom. Listen to what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I can't get what I want. Even sometimes when I really want the kingdom, I can't even get that. It's going to come when the Lord decides for it to come. And the Lord wants the kingdom, and he can't come when he feels like he wants it to come. So how much less us who are just worms and ashes and just clay and ashes, earth and ashes, worms, dust and clay. I mean, if you got a problem with that, that's on you. That's on you, man. But yeah, man, we can't get what we want, man. We can't get what we want. That's the point I'm trying to make. We can't get what we want. It's basically all the point I wanted to make there. And that's his thing. He pushes that you can do it. You can do it. Anything is possible. Anything is possible. That is like a that's a materialistic, selfish mindset to have. And so that's basically why he's not in this truth, because, and a lot of Jakes ain't in this truth because they're of the world. They belong to the world. They're in the world. This guy just happens to be more into his health and have certain facts. But at the end of the day, he that's all he is. He's just an NPC with a higher level of knowledge, who eats more healthy. But you're still an NPC.
All the time in the world. If you think that you're gonna live until 50, 60, 70, and then retire and pass away in a fucking retirement home on your deathbed, but that's if you're lucky, anything can happen. Y'all think that you're guaranteed to, live until you're old, which is truly a blessing every single year. Well, why don't y'all treat it like that? Most people, they just take action too late. Do not be one of those people. You buy life insurance so that just in case anything happens, you are insured. So why don't you treat your body, the one vehicle, the one engine that you have for the rest of your life, you need to treat that shit like it's your most important asset, because it is. Without you being at your best, nothing else matters if you're not at your best. You think you have all the time in the world.
Yeah, and that's the thing, bro. We're this ain't our rest. Once again, this ain't our rest, bro. This ain't our rest. So that's what he pushes. That's what this guy pushes. That this is our arrest. You should make it here, and all that. And for the most part, our main messages. For the most part, our main message on top of all that is that you should be happy with the having. You should be looking for a minimal lifestyle, basically a minimal lifestyle. Like it, man. You got has this bug out, weird ass bug out outside yelling for no reason. What's this about?
And you wonder why you're obese with low tech.
But yeah, this road is just filled with a bunch of weirdos and haters, man. Haters of Yahweh Shai, ultimately. But anyway, yeah, he has some certain facts, man. He's just like an NPC. He's still an NPC though. I was meditating about this man earlier. And other dudes like him, like you have guys like Andrew Tate and many other influencers. I have certain other influencers that they preach the health. They go into herbs. You have jakes that go into herbs that are herbs experts. But the point was, what does that all that mean if you don't have Yahweh Bashim Ashah? You might have jakes that can have the best car, newest car, have the most money, be able to get the finest woman any night he chooses, night out at the club. Well, what does all that mean if you don't have Yahweh Bashim Ashah? Like, what does all that stupid shit mean, bro? It means nothing. And yeah, bro, like it means nothing. It means nothing, man. You're just a loser, and you're just picking on other losers, and that's all it is, man. In the eyes of Yahweh Bashim Ashah. We're just all ashes and clay in his eyes, man. It doesn't fucking mean anything. But you know what is gonna mean something, bro? If the elect makes it, bro. If the elect makes it, bro. That's what's gonna mean something, bro. Whoever they may be, whoever they are, bro. There's definitely brothers that is trying to be of the elect, who believe they may be of the elect. I like to think I am of the elect, like I said. That's what's gonna matter. That's what's gonna carry the ultimate eternal crown. So that was going back to the point of the message. All that to say that right there. And I was feeling that earlier, bro. Like I can't even be jealous of a motherfucker in the road because he has a fine car. He has a fast car. Like your Boozys, your Jay Z's, and all the money they have. I can't even get jealous of that with this knowledge and truth. Because with this knowledge and truth, they may have all. I look at that and I'm like, they may have all that, but can they even say the name Yahweh Shai and believe it with the works that come along with the works that Yahweh Shai wants us to do? Can they actually say and honestly believe that? Do they know what time, what the prophecies are, what times we're in right now? Do they even know that? Because Esau's kingdom is going down. It's falling down. It's at its tipping scale. It's probably why you had that stupid bugged out ass Edomite over there yelling like a weirdo. Yeah, that's that cave beast mentality right there. Classic, good, original cave beast mentality right there. That's a good attitude to have. So I pray he keeps that attitude there. That's good. Edomite attitude over there. Attitude to have there. That's a good one for you, bro. And well, man, we soon get into them crowns and ships, man. Esau goes where he belongs in the bottom once again. So that's what really matters, man. That's what matters, man. Is that his kingdom is falling, bro. He's a bitch, and he's going down, and he can't do anything about it. That's what the prize is. That's what the crown is right there. That's what I want you brothers to focus on and continue to focus on, man. No matter what the fuck you go through, bro. Even with me and my little situation, man, I'm going through, man. It's not little to me, but it's pretty big issue to me. But my big issue is situation I'm in right now, man. My flood I'm in right now, man. Even with all that, bro, I'm praising the name of Yahweh Shem Shai because the Spirit gave me that earlier today. Just wanted to go into that. So that's why it says right here. So one of the elect that may not even have those high value, that may not fit those that list of what a high bad. So you brothers that mean so a lot of brothers, a lot of us who don't fit that high value male list, we may not even be able to cross half of those things on that list, or one or two things on that list. But we do eat healthy, brothers. Most of us brothers eat healthy, so we can check that. Either way, we eat the most healthy we can. It's not the most healthiest, but the most healthiest we can. It ain't the most healthiest. I mean, the curse states we shall eat our bread defiled. Our water is defiled. But come on, man. 1 Corinthians 1 and verse 26. Brothers, consider the time of your calling. Not many of you were wise by human standards. Not many were powerful. Not many were of noble birth. But God chose the foolish things of the world. So yeah, brothers, this is the point as well. Is don't be ashamed if you don't not have certain of these things that's of the world. It could be whatever it is, man. A certain job or just a job. Especially if you're trying, like you're actually trying, but Esau's fucking with you and making you blackball you basically. You're the elites of the city blackball you and shit, especially if you know that and shit. But yeah, don't be ashamed, bro, if you're not having those things. A certain amount of patience for these stupid motherfuckers, because maybe they're the ones who fuck with you and provoke you. Really, that's what else. One thing I noticed too. The gang stalker shit they do provoke you. To look into that if you don't know what that is. But that's true. I believe each brother, that, especially if you're in this truth, they're gang stalking you, and basically, it's real organization and real things that happen. You can see patterns and shit that they do. You can see patterns and shit that they do, and that when you go into that, look up gang stalking. Basically, our breath might stink, our hair might be ugly, our glasses might be all old. You may live in a horrible neighborhood, a lower class neighborhood. Don't be ashamed if you're one of the elect, but have those certain things, man. You have the name Yahweh Bashim Shai, and if you don't have a job, you have this job right here. That's the most important job on the planet, in the universe, to be his prophet, to be his daughter of the hopeful remnant, hopefully of the remnant of the number, called at least for now. Lord willing, soon to be officially chosen. If we end up finding out we're lifted up and we're inside the chariot, we can't say we made it till we get to the chariot. But with this faith, you can believe that you have made it in the chariot already, if you have. Lord's will. Lord's will, Lord willing. You might not have that woman, that specific woman, or that submissive woman that you wish you could have. Sometimes, as a man, you want that woman. As the woman, you might want that one man, the man of the Lord. It should be a man of the Lord if you want a man. To you woman sisters out there, you better be wanting a man of the Lord if you don't have a man, not just any man that's of the world. But some of you sisters ain't gonna have a man until you get to the kingdom as well. Just like certain brothers that ain't gonna have a woman of the Lord, or just in general a woman, until they get to the kingdom. There's certain be sisters who ain't gonna have a man until you get to the kingdom. I think of Judith. You sisters should really look up to that sister right there. If you're a sister watching this, you should look up to stories like that of Judith. It's very a special woman there in the scriptures. But anyway,